Hello, welcome to Clear Road Driving. Today I am back with another real exam route. In this route I will drive towards Biltema and continue on the E6 motorway. Like the previous routes, this one is also a real exam route that a student driver was asked to drive through during the practical exam at Hinsingen. As usual, in addition to driving on the route, I will explain multiple concepts on the way and provide you tips about the tricky areas that you need to pay attention. Please bear with me until the end of the video, and I can guarantee you that you will get valuable information that will help you in your driving license exam preparation. Before proceeding to the video, I would like to thank all of you for your engagement on the comments and for your encouraging words. I'm really happy to hear that the videos are helping multiple people. And recently, I saw one comment that I completely agree with. Yup, it is a nice request asking you guys to subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos posted on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, like and share the videos. I will drive toward the centrum on this roundabout. I will drive straight on the next roundabout. Here also, I will drive straight toward this centrum. On the next traffic light, I will turn to the left toward the centrum. I can use both the left and the right lane to go toward the centrum. But it's better to take the right lane so that I don't need to change lane after passing the traffic light. On the top section of the screen, you can see a student driver on practical exam passing this traffic light on the left lane. Then, after passing the traffic light, the student has to switch to the right lane. This parking garage is one of the places on this route where the examiner can test your parking ability. On the top section of the screen, you can see a student driver driving into this parking garage. On the next traffic light, I will turn to the right. Please be aware that the traffic light does not apply to me since I am turning to the right. If you don't know why it does not apply to me, please see my video on traffic light that just popped up on the top right corner. Even though I am not required to stop for the traffic light, I will have to give way to vehicles coming from the left due to the giveaway sign marked with the red circle. Watch the giveaway sign and road markers for vehicles from the left. So I have priority on this intersection. I will turn to the right here to show you another parking area where your parking skill can be tested on this route. On the top section of the screen, you can see a student driver on practical exam entering to this parking area. The space in this parking area is a bit narrow, and usually the empty slots are between vehicles. So I recommend you practicing parking in such type of areas. I will prepare a separate video describing multiple parking techniques. On the intersection ahead of me, I will have to give way for vehicles from the left on the first intersection due to the giveaway sign marked by the red circle. On the second intersection, I will have to give way for vehicles coming from the right side due to the giveaway sign marked by the green circle. On this junction also, I don't have to stop for the traffic light, but I will have to give way if vehicles are coming from the left. On this intersection, it is really important to carefully check vehicles from the left before moving on, because there is a possibility of cars coming from the left with a high speed while they try to avoid being held by the traffic light on the left side. After driving on the new road, I will move to the leftmost lane. Thus, I will have to keep the left indicator blinking and need to check my left mirror and left blind spot continuously until I reach to the leftmost lane. The reason I drove to the most left lane is because I am going toward this backup lane after turning left on the next traffic light. I will drive to the motorway that is accessed through the left lane. In my previous video, I drove to the motorway accessed through the right lane. You can find my previous video using the link that just popped up on the top right corner. Watch out how the driver in front of me behaves on the next intersection. The Volvo driver momentarily stopped before progressing forward, but vehicles from the right has a duty to give way for us, as indicated by the giveaway sign I marked with the red circle. Additionally, when he starts braking, the red car from the right didn't even reach at the intersection. Thus, if he really wants to be cautious on this intersection, stepping off from the accelerator would have been enough. This is not to say that just because you have priority on the road, you can drive blindly assuming that the other drivers will obey the rule and give way to you. On the upper screen, I am driving on this same intersection. I would say that the Volkswagen has crossed the intersection without affecting my driving. On the contrary, the Mercedes that followed next should have definitely waited me. Had I not applied my brake, I would have hit the Mercedes car. A piece of advice from my experience. If you see two cars, one behind the other, approaching to a giveaway sign, and if the front car drives past the giveaway sign, there is a high possibility that the car behind will follow the first car in driving past the giveaway sign to cross the intersection. Generally, when you approach to an intersection, think these two words: the rules and the risks. The rules reminds you what rule applies on that intersection. If the rule mandates you to give way to other road users, make sure that you have a safe gap before crossing the intersection. If the rule gives you priority, drive forward without hesitation. But think also about risks. Other drivers can behave against the rule and may try to cross the intersection without waiting a safe gap. If such condition arises, you still want to avoid crashes, even though you have priority on the road. Thus, practice your driving to find the right balance between avoiding undue hesitation on one hand and avoiding risks on the other hand. Every time you see this merging lane sign, make sure that you check your corresponding mirror and blind spot before joining to the single lane. In this case, I need to check my right mirror and right blind spot. On the upper section of the screen, you can see the Toyota CHR rushing towards the single lane almost at the same time as me. Checking your mirror and blind spot will save you from accident during such incidents. Here also, I check my right mirror and right blind spot to make sure that there is no bus coming from the bus lane that has just ended. I will follow the way towards the E6 Oslo motorway. The two right lanes will lead to an exit. So I will have to switch to the left lane to continue driving on the motorway. Shortly after I switch to the left lane, you will see a white Audi car overtaking me on the right side. Obviously, you should not do such type of overtaking during the exam. Driving on motorways should be easier than driving on a city road once you get used to it. Because on motorways, you do not need to deal with cyclists, pedestrians, or scooter riders. Those are some of the pointers that you need to bear in mind when driving on motorways. You must always drive on the rightmost lane, unless you are planning to overtake or unless the left lane leads to your destination. You need to drive with a speed that is close to the speed limit of the motorway. Driving too slowly can be almost as dangerous as driving too fast over the speed limit. Keeping at least a 3-second separation from the vehicle in front of you is important. If the road conditions are not good, you need to keep even bigger gap than 3 seconds between you and the vehicle in front of you. You should always have an idea of the cars behind you using your mirrors. You need to keep track of how far they are behind you. If there is a vehicle behind that is preparing to overtake you and the like. Applying a sudden hard brake or making unplanned and sudden lane switch is a dangerous thing to do on a motorway. If you do such movements, there is a chance that vehicles behind crash on your car, and such type of accidents are fatal and usually involve multiple vehicles. The Daily Mail news that just popped up on the top right corner reports an accident that happened on a Swedish motorway in 2013. The report states that up to 100 cars may have been involved in the accident. The fact that the accident day was a cold winter day had a big contribution for the number of involved cars to be large. But the fact that the accident happened on a motorway is the other major reason for the number of involved cars being huge. This is to emphasize that planning your movement well in advance on a motorway is crucial, not only for your driving license exam, but also for your daily driving after you get your driving license. I will drive to the E6 Malmö motorway after turning to the left, so I will stay on the left lane. Joining a motorway is a situation where most new drivers are afraid to do. While joining on any motorways, think of these points. First point, you need to pick up a speed that is close to the speed limit displayed. If you try to join the motorway with a speed that is significantly lower than the speed limit, vehicles on the motorway will either have to change lane or they will have to apply a hard brake to avoid hitting your car at the back. On the other hand, if you pick up a speed closer to the speed limit of the road, it will be easy to find a gap and switch to the main lane. Vehicles on the motorway also can create a gap for you by just lifting their feet from the accelerator momentarily. Second point, start your indicator early. While your indicator is running, turn your head and look at the vehicle on the main road. Additionally, look at your mirror also and identify which gap to use for switching to the main lane. Once you identify a gap and once you reach to the section of the acceleration lane with broken lane separator, look at your left mirror once again and check also your blind spot. Then smoothly switch to the main lane. If you have to make a second lane switch, maybe because the current lane will soon change to bus lane, the indicator that you turned on when you make the first lane change can be kept running until you complete the second lane change. Third point, drivers driving on the motorway knows that you need to move out of the acceleration lane as soon as possible. Thus, when they see you driving on the acceleration lane, most drivers adjust their speed to create a gap for you, or some of them will switch to the left lane to make the rightmost lane free for you to make the lane switch. So, don't consider the motorway merging point as a place where you contend with the vehicles already on the main lane. Rather, it is a point where drivers mutually cooperate for a safe lane switch from the acceleration lane to the main lane. On the next exit, I will leave the motorway. While exiting the motorway, look at your internal mirror, right mirror, and right blind spot, then indicate to the right. Make sure that there is no bus on the bus lane before switching to the exit lane. If there is a bus or a taxi on the bus lane, while your indicator is running, check your mirror and blind spot a couple of times until you make sure that the vehicle on the bus lane spotted your indicator and is cooperating for your exit. Then slowly make the lane switch. On the next intersection, I will turn to the right. But before making the right turn, I need to carefully look for cyclists, pedestrians, and vehicles from the left side of the road as well. I will pass this intersection using the roundabout rules when the traffic light is off. But there is a bus lane passing through the middle of the roundabout. So, if a bus approaches to the roundabout through the bus lane, the traffic light starts to work and it turns to red. In that case, the traffic light governs the movement, and I will have to stop until the traffic light turns off again. In such type of areas, it is good to be cautious about pedestrians that can suddenly show up from the bus stop. The car I marked by the red circle passes through the roundabout after the traffic light I marked in purple circle changed to red. It should have waited behind the stop line until the traffic light turns off. The traffic light started to change to red because of the bus that is about to cross the roundabout using the bus lane. This lane will be a bus lane, so I will switch to the left lane soon. This lane will end soon, thus I will have to switch back to the right lane. I will turn to the left on the next traffic light. After the traffic light, I will cross a railway crossing. The main point you need to keep in mind when it comes to railway crossings is that it is a section of the road that you want to cross as quickly as possible. You should never stop on the railway track under any condition. If there is a queue of cars after the railway crossing, don't start to cross unless you are sure that you can clear the track completely. The shortcut online website link that just popped up on the top right corner has nice descriptions about railway crossings. Have a look at it for more details. The road is a bit curved and the ground is wet, so I will not try to give gas and accelerate on the railway track. If I try to do so, the car can drift to the side. We are back to traffic circuit. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not done it yet.